on this computer. So hi everyone again. So we are recording. Unfortunately, it's quite an interesting evening. I have a power outage, but it's not a big deal for me. We have batteries, so I assume we'll last for 2 hours, but it's too much. Like probably our training, our performance management meetup will last for an hour or something like that, unless there will be a lot of questions. So thank you for your attendance. And today we are talking about performance management. Like, when I started 20, it's too much, 12 years ago as a manager of a small team, as a basically team leader, I had no idea what performance management is. And actually, I was so bad in performance management, you couldn't believe. So I hope this training will help you a lot, or perhaps at least will close some gaps and will allow you to be a better manager, a better leader, and a better subordinate, a better employee. Because this training is focused not only on management, but for everyone. It was tailored for everyone. So let's go. So if we are talking about performance management, the first thing that we probably are talking about is goals, because we want to measure the performance, but in what terms? Do we have some goals? Do we have some targets? What are the KPIs? What should we measure? So the first and the most important thing is to set our goals. And the very important thing that was new for me like 10 years ago, that goals should be cascading. What does it mean? So first of all, think about the following thing. Like, you have a company. Let's say you are a business owner, like you are a business founder, and you have a huge company or perhaps a small company, and this company has some goals. Like the most obvious one for sure is profit. Of course, yeah. But perhaps this year, profit is not your main goal. Perhaps it's not a goal at all. Like, you want to grow. You want to open new offices, like abroad, perhaps, or you want to double your output. Or perhaps it's not financial output, but something related to production, like number of units or number of products or something like that. Or you are going for IPO and you want to increase your staff, like you want to grow twice in staff. Like, it's a silly goal, but sometimes it's very important. Plus, some companies, their profits are directly related to the number of employees. So perhaps you want to increase the number of employees. So that's your possible organization goals, except profit, of course. And if I'm talking about cascading goals, this is the goal of your company, and everything underneath, like all the departments, all the individuals, they should behave and set their own goals according to organization goals. For sure. Think about the following thing. You want to grow, you want to open a new office in some city, like some city in your country, or perhaps you want to go abroad and open an office in another country. And that's your main goal, like you want to go international. But at the same time, all your departments, they are working on something else, like they want to increase their stuff, or they're working on profits. But at the same time, you want some kind of balance. You want to make your company more sustainable, more resilient, and you don't want to focus on only one country. Think about Ukraine nowadays. Like you want to go to Poland, to I don't know, Hungary, Slovakia, or Czech Republic, or to the US, or to the UK. So you want to go international, but at the same time, your department, they're working on recruiting people, they're working on making more profits, and it's not important for you because you think, oh, come on, like tomorrow something bad may happen, like this office might be closed, so I need to go international. That's my main goal, but nobody knows about it, nobody works on it. So if we're talking about goals for individuals and departments, they should be aligned with organization goal. Let's go down. So under each organization, there are several departments, like there might be a lot of them, like hundreds and hundreds and perhaps thousands of them. But usually there are like a few, like for example, I don't know, sales, marketing, PR, finance, like warehousing, anything like that, logistics. Or perhaps if you're talking about IT, like software development department or development operations department, so project management department, something like that. And they should have their own goals, their own KPIs that should be aligned with organization goals. For example, there is a recruitment department and you are going to open a new office in Poland, or I don't know, in Colombia, in Australia, in China. So probably according to this company goal, your recruitment department should recruit people in those specific areas, correct? Like they shouldn't recruit people in Austria or in Italy. They need to recruit them in Australia because that's the company goal. They want to open, or you want to open a new office in Australia. So they should be aware of this. And for example, they should have specific goal, like we want to have 30 people working in Australia in that particular office, and those should be like the director of this office, so some people in finance, like an accountant for sure, like, I don't know, an office manager if you have a physical office there, and so on. So these people should be aware of this and work accordingly. They should set targets accordingly. And if you're talking about IT, for example, your company has some goal regarding profits, like we want to increase profits. So sales department has target to like sell more licenses, sell more subscriptions. So what is software development department goal? Probably to create more features that are important for salespeople or for potential clients rather, and like to close the most important bugs or like the most obvious bugs. And actually, it's quite an interesting question. What is important, like to make more features or to have more stable product, more resilient product, more affordable product, a more less or less hardware intense products, more optimized products. So those are your possible goals that may help your company to reach this particular target of profit increase, correct? Yep. And if we're talking about individuals, so what are the individual goals for you and me? Probably, if we are recruiters and we are growing, so it means that we need to recruit people. Pretty obvious. Or if we are salespeople, okay, we are selling our product, our services, and what else? Like if we are software developers, new features. What are we talking about? Are we talking about just developing new features that we know how to make? Or perhaps we are using something new, like some new technologies, some new frameworks, some new environments, some new approaches. What should we do? Do we need to learn? Do we need to get better? Do we need to embrace something unfamiliar? So that's the goal. Like, for example, develop new features, but beside that, we should learn how to make them like in a more efficient way. The same with everyone. Like, for example, for sales, it's not so easy to go beyond their own expectations. Like perhaps they attracted, I don't know how many, 10 or 50 or 100 new clients the previous year. But if they want to get more, they need to learn some new selling techniques. They should improve their pitching skills, their soft skills in general. Who knows what, like perhaps their appearance, or perhaps if we're talking about modern online world, they need new web camera. Who knows? But according to this, you have your company goals, your department goals, and your individual goals that are very granular, that are very specific, and they align with all these pyramids, like organization goals underneath, department goals above, and individual goals on the top of all these. But without this foundation, without organization goals, they are nothing. For example, you want to study as a software developer Amazon Web Services, like a new cloud for you. But it's not aligned with your department goals. It's not aligned with your organization goals. Perhaps you are happy that you learned this thing, but nobody else pay attention. Or perhaps they may be upset because you are going around and say and boasting that you have learned something new, but everybody else is asking you why. Like it's not something that we need. So suddenly you'll get upset as well. So, but if you are creating additional value for your organization in general, for your department in particular, and your management is happy because you are growing, it's very important, and it's a sign of your success, a sign of your potential, career growth, your salary growth, and your growth as an expert in general. So you are getting more oh, competitive, not competitive, but rather better in your job market, like you are in high demand. Okay, so that's about cascading goals. But how to set goals? Like how to measure them, or like how to make them tangible? Perhaps you have heard about this already. It's not something new, but I must repeat myself. SMART goals. And SMART is an abbreviation, which means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So what are we talking about? So specific goals, like, let me give you a general example. I want to be rich. Okay, who doesn't? Everybody wants to be rich, or at least richer. Like even Elon Musk and Bill Gates, probably. Uh, but is it a SMART goal? Is it a specific goal? No, by no means not. Because, for example, I am richer than an average person. Let's say that. Do I think that I'm rich? Who knows? Probably I don't. Because why? Because being rich is something that is not specific. How to make it more specific? Like, I want to get $1 million. Is it a specific thing? Sure. Like, it's a very specific thing. Can I make it even more specific? Yes. How? For example, I want to have $1 million in my bank account. Okay, that's something specific, pretty specific. Or I want to have $1 million in cash in my suitcase. A very specific goal, a good one. It can be even more specific, and we will go to the following steps. But like, I want to get $1 million in my bank account in 3 years at the end of the year on 31st of December, and I want to celebrate this with a glass of champagne. Where? In Paris, near the Eiffel Tower. I want to celebrate New Year there with $1 million on my bank account. Sounds fantastic, and it's very specific, super specific. It's comparing to I want to be rich, it's so much more specific. And the next thing is measurable. So in our case, to be rich is not specific. To have $1 million is very specific. The same with more work-oriented goals. For example, I want to recruit 100 people or 50 people during this year. I want to recruit 10 people per month, or I want to close 20 bugs per month, or I want to lessen amount of bugs that I produce by myself 50%. For example, I have 20 bugs per month and I want to go to 10, like to lessen the number of them. Or what else? Like I have like, I don't know, I have a salary of $10,000 at the moment, and I want to increase it 10% at the end of the year. A measurable thing. So your goal, your SMART goal is measurable. Measurable. It depends on your pronunciation, but I think you get the idea. So something that you may write down in numbers. Okay, like it's pretty stupid, to be honest. Like, you want to be loud, like you want to be loud by how many people? Like, I want to be loud by one specific man or woman, or I want to be loved by 5 friends. I want to have 5 friends, or I want to be loved by all my relatives. I have 10 relatives. You can, it sounds funny, but you may write this down and it's a measurable goal. Do you agree? If you agree, like, paste heart in our chat. Send love to me. Okay. So the next thing is achievable. So we need achievable goals. Okay, so for example, I have mentioned recruitment, and uh, you you recruited 20 people during the previous year. I don't know if it's a high number or a low number. I think it's a pretty good number for a person, like to attract 20 people to a company. It's a very good goal and a very good KPI. But like there are huge companies in which 20 people per year is nothing. So it depends. But for example, you are a person that also an HR, a psychologist, a company psychologist, you are an event manager, you are an office manager, and at the same time you are a recruiter in these companies. Look, you are a multitasking person. You are very important. Everybody loves you. Your company really cherish you, but at the same time you have so many tasks to do. So tell me, is it possible for you to recruit 20 people during the year? I think it's possible, but it's probably not achievable. Like if you, uh, if during the previous year you have recruited only 3 people, probably 20 people is not achievable. At the same time, there is a very similar metric to this, like achievable, realistic. Like, for example, for you to recruit 20 people during a year, it's okay. Like, it's feasible for you. Like, you are good enough, you have enough time. Uh, Perhaps it's not so easy, but you may recruit 20 people. It's an achievable goal during the year. But if I tell you that you need to recruit 20 people in 1 month, you'll tell me that it's not realistic. Like, come on, like nobody in our company recruit even 10 people during 1 month. Like, so 20, it's not realistic at all. At the same time, you might be requested to write a new feature for your software, or write a test, or optimize a query. But at the same time, you might not have possess a specific knowledge or skill because you've been doing something else. For example, you've been a front-end developer for years, you know JavaScript, you know all the related frameworks, you are CSS and HTML guru, and what you do is really quick and looks really nice. But at the same time, when you are being asked to optimize some database queries, okay, probably you may read something, you may consult online forums, some offline groups, attend a meetup or two, visit a conference, read a book. But if you need to do this during the night, or like in 3 days or in a week, I think it's not realistic at all. Let's be honest. So if you are a manager who are setting such goal, or if you are a person who agreed upon such a goal, you are not being realistic. It's not a smart goal. So learn how to say no, learn how to negotiate your position, how to express your views, how to express your doubts. It's important as well, because it's better to ask, for example, 1 month and do something in 10 or 20 days, or ask for 10 days and don't meet your deadlines because you don't have time, you don't have skills. Plus, the goal might be perfectly achievable, realistic, but at the same time, when you're trying to squeeze another goal like that, and they're competing for your time, the next one, the second goal, is now not realistic because you have planned already something, you set another goal, and it's very time consuming. Don't forget about this. Okay, so goals should be realistic in terms of time, skills, and other criteria. And they should be timely. And by timely, I'm not talking about realistic deadlines. I'm talking about deadlines in general. For example, remember I said, I want to be rich. Okay, it's an okay goal. It's not specific. It's not measurable. Perhaps it's realistic for you. But when? When is your deadline? When you want to check your financial situation and say, okay, I'm rich, or I want $1 million. When do you want them? Like in 10 years, in 50 years? If you say that I want $1 million now, perhaps it's not realistic unless if you are a bank robber, but it's very timely. So make your goals timely. So if we're talking about setting goals, and we are talking about setting goals as a manager or setting goals as an employee, as a subordinate, like you are being assigned a goal and you are in position to negotiate it, to talk about it, to make it better. Uh, Always remember that those goals should be smart. That's very important. And that's the basic thing of performance management. Like all the goals should be smart. And this thing also covers like time management, performance management, product management. So if we are talking about goals, they should be smart. Okay, let's go further. So talking about goals and achieving them is nothing unless we mentioned feedback. Why it's important? Let's say I want, as a company owner, I want my recruitment department, or perhaps I have one recruiter, to recruit 100 people. I have given 1 year for that, but I do nothing. I wait till the end of the year, and suddenly I realize that my company hasn't grown at all, or perhaps there are only 10 new people. Is it good? By no means, no. Oh, because why? Because I let it go. Like I let it flow it on its own. I haven't give any feedback. I haven't asked what's going on. So if we really want something to happen, there should be feedback. There should be feedback. And if we are talking about our employees or our subordinates performance, we should provide constant and continuous feedback. What I'm talking about. So first of all, it should be regular. Like, as I mentioned before, if you come to me or to your employee or your subordinate and at the end of the year and ask like, oh, how those goals that we set at the beginning of the year, what has what have happened to them? and you start to apologize, or they start to apologize, because so many things has happened. And even if you set them in January and came to them in November, you still have 1 month ahead, like December, the whole December. Probably there is no time to fix all the issues. Like, who's guilty? You know, there is a saying that the manager is always guilty because they haven't found the issue early enough. So we need to talk. We need to talk in our relations with loved ones, with friends, with colleagues, and especially communication is crucial between a manager and their subordinate. So it should happen both sides. So if you are an employee and you have some issues, it's better to tell your manager about them. At the same time, like, trust your subordinates, trust your people, but check them. Like, of course, like, everything may happen. And people do like if they are trusted, but you may just ask, like, do you need any help? Like, may I do something for you? Like, how the things are going? Like, don't push people, but be in sync with them. Like, suggest to help them. Like, share your hand with them. Like, give them your hand, and it will help to reach those goals that are not only company goals and your department goals, but your own goals, your management goals. And if you want to get some kind of promotion of or like salary increase, like, you need to show results, and show results of your own on your own, and also results of your employees, results of your subordinates. So it's very important to build this feedback, like how the things are going. Like, do you have dailies? Do you have weekly meetings? How often you check what's going on in your department? And why I'm talking about continuous feedback, because it's also very important to be in the moment. It's best in the moment. For example, there is some issue. Somebody did something not in the best way. So what will you do? You may secretly help them, like to ask somebody to help, or to do something on your own and fix the situation, but they need to know that the expectations haven't been met. And if you tell them at the end of the year, remember in May, there was a situation when something went wrong. Probably this person not only won't feel any guilt or pressure, they won't even remember this situation. But if you've caught somebody red-handed, like, you may say, okay, it doesn't meet company expectations. Like, what's going on here? At the same time, perhaps you want to prize somebody. They did something amazingly, like, it was brilliant work. But if you are going to tell this in the end of the year, the same situation, they won't even remember this. Plus, if somebody does something with all the effort possible, if they invested all their efforts, all their time, they did something the best way possible, probably they expect some gratitude. Do it. Because people may feel underappreciated. Like, okay, I'm doing so much work, I'm like showing my best, but nobody noticed me. It's also not good, as you may understand. So feedback is best in the moment, both negative feedback and positive feedback. So do this. Recognize the actions. Like think how you may prize a person. Like is just one word or like a short speech is good enough? Perhaps during your local gathering, perhaps you have like team meetup, team meetings, group meetings, some reviews, some retrospective. Uh, you may say, okay, like Anna or Peter or I don't know, Andrei or Ira or Daria, they've done an amazing job. Like I'm so happy with them. Like they uh, did more than we planned. They did it better. Like I'm so happy. Everybody else is so happy. Like you are doing great job. Or perhaps you even want to go further and to present them some small gift from a company if you have a budget. It shouldn't be really something big, but perhaps, I don't know, a certificate or a diploma, like the best, I don't know, employee or performer of this month. Like it will be appreciated. Plus, I think we all are guilty in this. We tend to judge people. Like sometimes we accuse uh, people directly, like, and especially in front of others, like you did this and that, or you haven't done this and that. Like, come on, like, I know that sometimes I do this, but what is important is not to be judgmental, but rather to stick to the data and results, to say like, oh, we planned this, and as I may see, like some of the work haven't been done. Like what's happening? Like can we improve the situation in the future? Or what was done wrong? And so on. Plus, if you are providing this negative feedback, first of all, do this in person. Like don't do this on public. It's because negative feedback, it temporarily demotivates people. That's true. But it demotivates everybody involved. So if you provide negative feedback to the whole group, it gives this demotivation to all of them. Sometimes it cannot be avoided, but in general, try not to do this. Don't provide negative feedback in public. Do this in person. And you know that usually it's related to one specific person, and so everybody else is not guilty. They don't need to listen to this sad or aggressive speech. It shouldn't be actually sad or aggressive, and it shouldn't be accusing and judgmental, but sometimes it's happened. So don't demotivate everybody. Give negative feedback in person. And one more thing, document your feedback, because at the end of a financial period or calendar period, like at the end of the year, perhaps you want to uh, not perhaps, but probably, highly probable, highly likely, you are given like yearly feedback, or company is thinking about giving rises, giving promotions, or like I don't want to say getting rid of people, but like let people go rather. So if you miss everything that has happened with somebody, like all the good and bad things, they haven't been written down, you'll start to ruminate like, okay, so what has happened with this person performance? Like what was good, what was bad? You will probably recall some biggest mistakes and biggest wins, but at the same time, a lot of things will be missed. So document, write down, have a, a profile on each person in your group, in your team, in your department. Like write this down. And if you are a person that has nobody underneath, only management above you, it's actually a good idea to write down everything that you have done for this company during the year, like all the major things, even the small things. And at the end of the year, send a letter of appreciation that say, I do like to work for this company. It's such a big thing for me. And I want to summarize what I have done for my favorite company during the year and send them the huge list of what you have accomplished. And as you may remember, visibility is very important for each of us. Without visibility, there is no promotion, there is no salary increases, there is nothing. So document your own achievements. It's very important. You will need it. Okay, so we were talking about providing feedback, and I know that some of us lack uh, soft skills, like some socializing skills. So how to talk with people? Like sometimes those conversations are quite tough. Perhaps you want to provide negative feedback, or perhaps you need to spur somebody, like to not force, but rather to nudge them to work better, more efficient, to do more. So how to approach people, like how to make those conversations less awkward. So talk about the following things. How do you think you are doing? So ask a person, and they may share a lot more that you may think. They might be pretty aware of the current situation, or they might be unaware of this, and you might be surprised. If there is something to improve, so ask them what other steps you took. Like, you know that perhaps your performance is lacking. What have already been done to improve it, or what are you planning to do? Like, what is your current plan? Or perhaps there are some obstacles, and you may be this obstacle. Perhaps you are not meeting expectations, like you are not answering emails fast enough. You are not providing approvals fast enough. You have too many meetings and you are hard to get to as a manager. But like there might be tons of obstacles, like perhaps business processes regarding some of the tasks are not so good. So what are the obstacles? You might be pretty aware, of those, or perhaps you might be surprised. Ask about this. What other sources that you need? A very good question. Like perhaps this particular person, I don't know, they are struggling with children working remotely. A very common problem nowadays, to be honest. And so they may benefit from a table in the office, or perhaps they have, I don't know, a very slow laptop and they need an upgrade, or they are overwhelmed with tasks and perhaps they need some help, or perhaps they need your help in particular. So ask people, what are the resources that you need? And I have mentioned you already as a manager or the potential manager, or you may push your manager and they ask like, what can I do as your manager, or what you as a manager, oh, how you as a manager may help me. So as I mentioned before, this communication between a subordinate and a manager is very important because it's a tandem. They should work together. And get a decision, a resolution. Like you have this tough conversation, or not so tough, but rather uh, very positive conversation. But you need some summary at the end. Okay, so we are working as we have used to, or okay, we had some issues, but now we are changing this and that, and we are seeing each other in a week to see what has happened. So you need some decision. You need a resolution to those issues. You need some ideas that are written down. Remember to document everything. So talking with people, be positive, ask questions, don't be judgmental, but at the end, get some decision. Everything goes with the practice. Okay, so I have mentioned that this feedback is actually okay to people in a waiting room. Sorry. So I have mentioned that feedback should be both directional. Like, sorry, like it's a communication between a manager and a subordinate, and there are always someone above you, no matter how high are you, how uh, high your position is. Perhaps you are CEO, but you always have some clients and partners who may give you some feedback. So remember that you might be a barrier to someone's success. So as I have mentioned, you are not answering them their email fast enough, or you are very reluctant to give some to make some decisions. So ask people like if they are okay with you, how you may help them, and sometimes so you will find that you are a barrier. So the first thing is to be aware of this. The second thing, of course, is like to uh, make this barrier disappear. Uh, Always remember that something that is not important for you might be very important for somebody else. Like, for example, you have a dinner with your CEO, but at the same time, you haven't answered some emails, or somebody is waiting for your signature, or there is some bug that needs your attention, or rather your resolution, or perhaps there is some unanswered question and it's not important for you. Uh, you are thinking about your own issues and your own tasks and goals, but for somebody else it might be crucial. So don't be this barrier again. And I must admit that receiving feedback sometimes is very painful. It might be not so painful, but at least it might worsen your mood for sure. And you want to get defensive, like you want to say that, okay, it's not true, like I have thousands of things that I need to do. Like, listen, don't be defensive. Actually, you don't need to say anything. Just listen and think what you may do. At the end, you just thank this person, because any feedback is a gift. Like your subordinates, they actually don't need to give this feedback to you. They might be shy, they might be reluctant, they may think that this honest feedback uh, will make their situation or their perspectives worse. So people who give you honest feedback, they are very, very important. So think about it as a gift. And if they give feedback to you, they become more susceptible to your own feedback. Remember about this, because people see that, okay, I am telling something to this person and they are taking this into account. Wow, fantastic. So probably if they are so open and cooperative, it means that if they tell something to me, that also should be taken into account. And trust is very important. So build trust, receive feedback, give feedback, and take it into account. Thank people for that. And the summary of this slide, the summary of this idea is to create trust in the environment. Like you probably all have some experience in toxic working environments where there is no trust, where you don't want to work, and everything that your manager tells you, it's like something that you don't even want to hear. But by creating trust in the environment, you show people that it's not a big deal to tell you about their mistakes. There won't be punishment. There'll be only positive feedback that those mistakes were shown at the early stages when they are still can be fixed. So think about this from this point of view. Trust, all mistakes are not being hidden, they are visible, they are easy to fix because they are still on early stages. And it means success and goals achieved. So trust helps you to achieve your goals, your department goals, your company goals. So a very good thing. If you agree with me, please type plus in the chat. Okay, thank you. Okay, interaction. So getting forward with giving feedback and social skill, socializing and soft skills. So conversation, right tone. You know, I know by myself. I know by myself because I'm a family man, because I was a manager, I'm a manager, I have a lot of managers above me. I have people who reluctant sometimes, and I mean everybody, like my family members, my relatives, my friends, my colleagues, my managers, my subordinates, all of them, they drive me nuts sometimes, and I want to scream on them. This will lead us nowhere. You probably know about this. So choose right tone. Be friendly. Don't raise your voice. Sometimes it's hard, but the biggest battles are battles that are won upon yourself. I think you know that when you overcome yourself, overcome your anger, you feel proud of yourself. Or at least you may come to me and say, I I have overcome myself. Like I wanted to shout, but I managed it. I will encourage you. I will praise you. I'll tell you that I'm proud of you. But probably you'll be proud of yourself. So choose right tone. Be friendly. Be polite. Be calm. Motivation, motivating and not demotivating. Like we all are special snowflakes. I'm the biggest one. I want to see friendly faces. I want to hear friendly speech. I want to be motivated. And I know that sometimes we are hard in each other's feelings. We demotivate each other. We underappreciate or depreciate other people's success and their achievements. Let's remember about this, that it's not so good. It's actually pretty bad. Let's motivate others and not demotivate them. Plus, make sure that you have time for discussion. Like, for example, we want to talk with somebody, we have this hard conversation, or we have positive conversation, like we want to prize them, but we have chosen the wrong time. Like they're busy, we are busy, we are low on time, or our meetings are overlapping. The conversation won't be so good. Like the timing should be precise. Like we don't want to come to somebody and tell them, okay, like I'm in a rush, but I need to talk with you. Like you was very good during this month, like during this week, like you are so cool, goodbye. Or the same, like, you know, I have so much to tell you, like your performance, I must admit, it's not covering our company expectations, but I low on time. Goodbye. Like, come on, like those conversations should be meaningful. Like people may be very nervous. For example, you have assigned one-to-one with a person, they're expecting something, perhaps they're expecting some negative feedback because they know that they were not so good during the uh, previous days, or perhaps they're proud of themselves and they are waiting for like something big. They are waiting for I don't know, a bonus or a positive speech from their boss. And what they get is 1 minute talk. And they think, okay, like I was winding up myself for like a day or two or for a week. And what have I got? Nothing. Uh, like people leave companies not because of the companies, but because of management. Don't be a bad management. Like give time for meaningful conversations. And don't allow nobody to interrupt you. By nobody, I mean your devices as well, like your cell phones, your smartwatches, your messengers. Like uh, I know that you are not happy by yourself when somebody is talking with you, but they are constantly being distracted by some messenger, just by phone calls and so on. Like it's not a conversation, especially if it's something important and it's related to your performance, your work performance, something that you put all your efforts into. I have mentioned already that you shouldn't be judgmental, so leave alone, leave aside this judgmental tone, try to be at least neutral. Like if you cannot be positive, if you cannot be supportive, just don't be judgmental. And listen, I have mentioned that you should document things. Uh, it doesn't matter if you are a subordinate of somebody or you are a manager, make notes, like show those people that you care. You care about their negative feedback, you care about their positive feedback, you care that they talk with you. you're making notes, that you are showing them that, okay, like I'm making note, those things are important to me, like I'll take them into account. And plan meetings. Like if you schedule a meeting, think about how it should go. Like how should I start? What things we should discuss? Like what are the meeting's goals? Like what summary I want to expect? What I want to achieve? This is super important. And respect people. Like it doesn't matter if it's a cleaning lady or a CEO. Like they both should be important, because CEO might be pretty busy, and they'll forget about your tone or your um, phrases, or what have you said to them like in a minute. But a cleaning lady may have a lot of time, and I said lady, sorry, a cleaning person, they may have a lot of time, and they may write so many things on Glassdoor or any other company feedback resource on you. Like company reputation, your own reputation is very important. So respect people. Like people tend to work with people whom they respect and who respect them. So be kind, be polite. Like I am not saying that you should be meek, weak, be strong, be strict, but at the same time, be polite and be respectful. And remember that for you, an ordinary conversation with employee might be just a pastime. Like, okay, I want to talk with you, I want to give you some feedback, but you are not in this person's shoes. Like they might be super nervous, like they are meeting the boss. Like they don't know what to expect. Like they cannot sleep, for example. And for you, it's a pastime, but for them, it's a big event, like something really important. So think about this from this point of view and prepare for each conversation. So make it meaningful. Okay. So that's it. Okay, one more thing. Uh, Getting back to chat. uh, if you have ever if you have ever got, sorry, those strange conversations with your bosses when you expected like a big, meaningful conversation but got nothing, let me know. Like, I don't know, we have used pluses. Let's write plus in our chat, just to be sure that you are listening to me and this has happened. Okay, one more thing. So you are the boss, you are a leader. Perhaps you are not, perhaps you are an ordinary person, but you are somehow better in terms of experience. Perhaps like you have worked for this company for an additional year or 2 years. So you've been working here for 10 years already. You know so much. So what can you do? Of course, you may measure performance, you may set goals, you may talk with people, but sometimes they need your help. They need your knowledge. They need your expertise. So what can you do? You can coach them. Like you can do this by yourself. Like you may help them, you may show them with example how to do this and that, how to make things better, how to do things for the first time, to teach them some new technologies, new software, or something that you know how to do. It's a good thing. It's not always possible. I know that we all are busy, but you may schedule a particular meeting like once per day, or once per week and say that we are exchanging experience. Like I am teaching you, you're giving me feedback, you're showing me something. It's a good sign. This is something that shows that your management style is very healthy. If you don't have time, you may search for third parties, like for somebody else, like for another person, for a mentor, or even a company, like for a contractor. They may come and teach, or this person may go to a particular course online or offline and learn something new. And you invest in time or money or some other resources. Perhaps it's exchange of some kind, but think about it. Like you have people that need to make your goals happen, like your department goals happen. Like your management will be not judging, or like rather checking performance of your department in the end of the year, and how to meet those goals. Like perhaps your people lack some skills, like some knowledge, like expertise. You need to give it to them. You need to help them to learn, to improve their skills. So you either may do this by yourself, or by searching for a mentor, searching for some help, and investing in education of some sort, like education courses, online, offline, meetups, meetings, perhaps something free. You may even tell, like, you know, I know that you want to go to this meetup or to this conference or to this workshop, and it's during your working hours, but it's important to us. So I allow you to go. Like it's approved. Uh, Learn what you need to learn, come back and do your work better. Or perhaps if there are others who want to learn this as well, teach them, like share this new knowledge, share your new skills, and encourage your people to share their knowledge, to teach each other. Think about future development. Like perhaps you are growing by yourself. You invest money, time, some other resources in your own education to get better. But if you are a manager, if you are a team leader, it's always about the team, not only about yourself, but always about the team. Like you cannot reach department goals on your own. You are not a horse, like you are not pulling the cart. Like you are one of the people who is pushing this cart. So if you're pushing alone, nothing will happen. Like if we're talking about teamwork, each team member needs to be better. So invest into their education, motivate them to study. Okay, and I'm seeing that not every one of you has some strange conversations with your management. Okay, I wrote minus, but actually there were some strange conversations in during my experience, not in All Stars IT, but in my previous jobs. Okay, let's go further. So motivation. I have mentioned motivation. So it's very strange, yeah, agree that we are talking about performance management, but at the same time, uh, we touch such things as talking with people, feedback about coaching and teaching, and now we are talking about motivation. Why we are talking about such things? Because performance management, it's a very complex thing, and our goal is not only to measure this performance, but we need to get this performance. Like somehow we need to reach those goals, and it's very complex. Like there are a lot of things that needs to be taken into account, like this continuous feedback, this teaching people. And now we're talking about motivation, like how to motivate people. So if we're talking about work, first thing is always money. So money is a good motivator. It's not always the motivator you want or motivator that you have. It depends on your budget, of course. Like if you have budget, you may use money as a motivator, and even you may use it as a future motivator. You may promise more money at some particular stage, or you may promise a bonus, or you may have some KPIs that allow you to give this bonus. For example, for sales department, if they reach their goals or they surpass their goals, and we have so many sales, we have such a huge budget, we have extra money in our pocket, we may give those extra money to our sales department, of course, and we may share those resources with everyone, like more minerals, more golds, fantastic. But what are other motivators? So first of all, we may remember that motivation is very different, like it's different for different people. Perhaps this particular person will be happier, not with more money, but with a higher position. Like perhaps this developer has been working as a senior developer for already 10 years, and he or she wants to be a team leader or a technology leader, or they want to work as a product manager or project manager. So ask them. Perhaps they don't want more money, they want to do something in a different way or entirely different. Plus, if we are talking about something tangible, something physical, this might be gift of some sort, token of gratitude. For example, a gift card or a certificate or a diploma or some kind of a trophy, like as I have mentioned, the best employee of a month, the best learner of a quarter, or like the most initiative person of this year. It's not so expensive, but this is something that a person may put on their table and feel proud and feel cherished, feel important. So think about it. Or you may buy a gift certificate for a spa and give a person a day off to visit this spa. And this may help this person to get unwind, to relax. Plus, it's always very important to give an example. Like the best motivation is to show people how to act. But if you slack all the time, if you think that, okay, this and that is not so important, we may do this tomorrow and so on, it gives example to others, to your colleagues, to your subordinates, and even to your own management. They say, okay, so this is not important. But if you put extra effort, if you do your best, it's always recognizable. It's always recognizable by people who surround you. Perhaps it's not recognizable to levels of management above you, but people who work with you directly, they always notice that. So model the behavior that you want others to practice. Motivation is quite an interesting topic. We talked about this with our well-being manager, and we decided that there will be a separate training, separate meetup on this topic. So wait for it. But summarizing this slide, I want to say the following thing. Motivation can be extrinsic and intrinsic, which means of those, like I'm giving you a bonus, I'm giving you money, I'm giving you some kind of promotion, or it might be hidden, like I'm leading by example and giving an example, or I'm keeping people in a good mood by uh, using my charisma and by uh, joking around, like keeping people positive, uh, giving them positive feedback, encouraging them, and so on. So use it. Let's go further. We don't have so much to left. So performance types. I want to say that people are different. You know that. And one particular person during their career, even during their career in one company, may change those performing type, but usually it stick to a person. So strong performance, steady performance, and underperformance. So who are strong performers? You know them. They give extra effort, they work extra hours, they push as hard as possible, they do like challenges, they do extra work, or they do some extra tasks, extra activities. Uh, so those guys and girls are strong performance. There are usually not so many of them, like 10% in the company, but they always present. Steady performance. So who are steady performance? Steady performance, they do their work, they meet their goals. Sometimes they are a bit more active than usual. Sometimes they are a bit lazier, but in general, they meet their goals. They give us their steady performance. So we may rely on them and we know what to expect from them. Underperformance. Who are those? I think we don't need explanations. Like those are people who have some issues. Perhaps they have constant issues. Perhaps they have temporary issues. Like something has happened, but they don't meet our performance expectations at this particular period of time. So what should we do with those people? So if we are talking about high performance, remember that people are not machines. So high performance, they tend to burn out. Like they tend to do too much work. They get drained. They get demotivated. So work with them regarding setting boundaries. Like don't allow them to make 200%. Like tell them that 150 is enough, 110 is enough, 101 is enough. Like if they're doing extra work, it's appreciated. But given this constant flow of extra is better than giving a lot of extra results and then suddenly to disappear for 1 month or 2 months recovering and being underperformer, being demotivated, being toxic. So set boundaries. Don't give them opportunities to use them up, use themselves up. Like set boundaries, give them help, reduce their workload, make them feel important, but limit their output because this output should be constant. What should we do with steady performance? You think perhaps it's better not to touch them, but actually we should recognize their input. Let's acknowledge their contribution to the business, because this is the majority of people. There are around 70 or 80% of them in each company, and it's our basement, not basement, it's our base. It's the base of each company, the ground of it. So without them, there won't be nothing. So let them know that they are being appreciated. Tell them, wow, we have met our goals. We are good. We are the best. And underperformance, we as managers, we should give them some corrective action. Like we should talk with them. We should ask them what can be done to help them. But as I have mentioned, this conversation should be constructive, not destructive. We shouldn't demotivate them even further. We need to find out how to help them. And there is another type of performers. Those are remote employees. They are a bit different because we do not see them each time, but it's something that happens nowadays. There are a lot of remote employees. So what should we do with them? How to work with remote employees? How help them to meet their goals and our goals as well? So set objective and deliverables with timelines. Like they need to know when this should be done. Have meetings with them. Don't allow them to lost you. Like they should feel this connection with their management, with their teammates, with the company itself. Like there is no need to check them constantly if they present what they're doing now. Like don't over supervise, but check their results. Like set clear expectations and check the results. Be sure that those individuals are being held accountable. Like they know that they are accountable for their work and that upon their work, other people dependable. So help them to know about this. Okay. Several things for the last. So managing an employee out. You know that sometimes people need to leave the company. Like they don't meet expectations. They don't talk with us. Like whatever we do to help them to improve their results, they're not responsive at all. They have something on their minds. But let's do our best. First of all, let's let them know what kind of current opportunities do they have, like to learn, to improve. Perhaps it's not the best position for them. Like you always know how hard to find new people. So let them know that there are other positions in other teams, in other departments. Perhaps they are more interested in doing another type of work, or perhaps they know how to improve their output at the current position. So find more about their competence, about their strengths, about their experience. Perhaps they are not doing what they wanted to do or what they expected to do, and perhaps there is a good position or some opportunity to help them to improve. So use it. But if you understand that this person will eventually leave this company, it's better to talk and help them to make this decision before this person becomes unsatisfied, toxic, and ruin your working trusting environment. So if you see that something with a particular person going south, help them politely to find a better position, either within this company or within another. And in this case, you'll get positive feedback from this person. You won't get tense colleagues, tense subordinates, tense management. Everyone is happy. But before that, think what can be done to make this person happy within the company and their management happy as well. Okay. Managing employee up. So sometimes, and you have seen this, okay, I am asking a question. So sometimes a manager sees a person who do all the work, who do their own work and managers' work as well. And this manager feels really confident. Okay, I have such a fantastic employee. They are so cool. They are doing their work. They are overperforming, and they are also helping me. Those are golden people. Have you ever seen something like that? Let's put plus signs in our chat, because I have seen such situations several times. And what is going on? Like, this situation becomes permanent. Like, manager is happy, the employee is working hard to get promoted, but they won't ever get promoted because they got in this sweet position where they are super helpful for their current manager. And if this person will go up, or if this person goes up, there won't be such a nice helping employee around, but a new boss or new colleague, new competitor will join the ranks. So not a good idea. But what will happen otherwise? Otherwise, this person who is working hard will suddenly understand that they're being exploited, that they're not being promoted, that they're working hard, they're covering their manager as well, and it goes nowhere. So they just leave the company. They leave a lot of negative feedback. They become toxic eventually, and you get a lot of negative publicity, and also other people also within the company see this, that okay, this person worked so well and they were not promoted, but rather quit company in anger. This definitely not creating a trusting environment, and doesn't help to motivate others. So it's very important, if you see that somebody is very good, you need to help them to get the next position, like the next, it doesn't matter what is it, like junior to middle, middle to senior, senior to leader, leader to manager, and so on, up to CEO, perhaps not CEO, but some director or vice president. So help those people. Don't let them stick. Don't let them evolve, or rather degrade, from high performance to toxic people that poison the working environment. Okay, what else? So we were talking about setting goals. We were talking about helping people to leave the company, or either how to get a to help them get promoted. We were talking about how to talk with them, how to get feedback, and so on. All of these things are related to performance management. But what is the most important thing that you may do? You may create a development plan for a person. At the end of this training, I will show you an example, but the best thing is to get a company template of a development plan if it exists, or get something on the internet, like we in All Stars IT have such template. You may find it on the internet site like All Stars Document Learning and Development Plans. Like there is a draft and there is like a template for this. Or you may ask your, if you don't have access to internet, ask your people partner for a template, or use this direct link. This presentation will be published, so try to open it. So use a company template, set goals, understand your strong points and your current weak points, and what do you want to improve, and where you want to go, where your management wants you to go. Set goals, set smart goals, set some specific goals with specific deadlines and when you want to check on them, and use it with constant feedback from your management, or if you are a manager, give this constant continuous feedback to your own subordinates. No, and it will help you a lot. Like we were talking about approaches, but like how this can be done is by using development plan. So I think that's a very important thing. Okay, before checking the development plan, I want to finish this presentation. A few things that I want to recommend. First of all, I want to recommend you 4 Udemy courses. Like if you don't have Udemy account, ping your people partner or me, or I'll assign you a license, or your people partner may assign you a license. So get access to Udemy and you may pass those courses. 3 of them are quite short, one from 1 to 3 hours. And one is a big one, like I think the last one, yeah, Certified Performance Management Professional. If you want to go this way, like there is a long course and you may get certified. Yeah, there is actually this kind of certificate. And during each training, I do remind you that there are open positions in our company in All Stars IT. And if you are not working for our company, you may apply for a position. And if you are working, but you have somebody in your mind who may help, so refer a friend and get a referral bonus. So use this QR code or open our site, All Stars IT, and there is a link for that. So currently we are looking for the hot positions are software engineer for Voronezh, DevOps engineer for All Stars IT, QA automation engineer in Python for Hilo, and experienced front-end developer, full stack developer for Yotpo. Okay, so thanks All Stars IT for allowing me to give you this speech. And at the end, I want to tell you more about development plans. For example, Zoom. First of all, can you see that development plan? Please type plus in the chat. Yeah, fantastic. So here's a very, very tiny template for a development plan or professional development plan for potential person, like this person doesn't exist. I do believe that this person exists somewhere, but it's a made-up person, Anna Shevchenko. She is a .NET developer, and in this development plan, she has two goals and aspiration. Like first of all, she wants to exceed performance expectation. It's not a very clear goal, as you may understand, but at least it's something. And a more clear goal is to advance to a leadership position within the company. Okay, so what she possesses now. So time management skills, organization skills, communication skills, excellent execution, which is also very important. Yeah. Uh, and what kind of development opportunities she has at the moment? Like we also may understand it, that she may go the current team leader, basically attended meetings with the current team leader, helping them to do some tasks, their work. Plus, there are company level meetups that are talking about perhaps, I don't know, leadership or management or performance management, like our training today. And she may mentor others. Those are nice development opportunities. But those are like things in general, which also very good to understand. And now we are going to something more specific. Okay, so we have tasks, we have deadline, and we have checkpoints. How often we do want to check on those goals? Like back up the current team leader. So this this development plan was created on 11th of January the previous year, and it's expected that there are goals that are yearly that we are checking each month. So back up the current team leader, finish at least 2 online courses on team management, mentor Ivan Prokopenko on C# development, read The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni, and Herding Cats, a primer for programmers who lead programmers by Hank Rainwater. Actually, I would rather separate these two and give like some smaller deadlines. And conduct 2 company-wide meetups on time management and soft skills, because we know that this person is good with these particular, I don't know, talents or traits or skills. So it's an example. I have something similar to me that was written by me. And like there are more list of development opportunities. For example, Udemy courses are being mentioned, mentoring others are being mentioned. And for example, there is a like assistant backup, like this is also a fake development plan, but it's more detailed. So assistant backup Dmitry Kozachenko, a team leader, finish Udemy course, finish Udemy course, mentor others, conduct a database skill school. Okay, read a book, read another book, conduct 2 meetups, finish offline course. And like some of those goals are set to the end of the year, but some of those have more recent deadlines, which is much better. And as you may see, checkpoints, some of them are monthly and some of them monthly, but till the specific deadline. So it's a tiny example of development plan. It might be much more detailed, but at least it's something that a person may create with their management and understand where are they going. Like all those things are needed. Like for example, with Yavhan in this particular example, oh, advance to the team leader position. So probably there is an open position for team leader, or it's been planned that this position will be created or will be open. So we need a team leader, so we try to understand how this person is, what strengths and talents are applicable to this future position. Okay, those are good skills for a team leader. Okay, so what are opportunities that might be used to improve the general situation, to make this person closer to that goal? Okay, there are some. And then you are putting tasks that needs to be covered, that need to be achieved to for this person to obtain this position or get closer. Like in this case, it's a team leader. Perhaps it's some middle level developer or senior developer or tech lead. So there might be some projects finished. There might be some technologies that person learns or gets certified and so on. But the most important thing that I want to emphasize, that those goals should be aligned with department or project goals and with company goals as well. So basically that's it. If there are any questions to me today, you may type or you may ask verbally. Okay, okay. I think you all have get tired already. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, thank you for this training. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your attendance. I hope it was really helpful. My battery is almost drained out, but it's my pleasure that we have finished and covered everything. So if you have any questions, you may always reach me. If you want this template, uh, if you want it now, just let your people partner know or reach me, and this presentation will be published, so you all will be able to like refresh your knowledge and gain the main ideas. Plus, I'm writing down the video, so you'll be able to watch it faster perhaps and revisit some of the topics. So thank you, thank you, thank you a lot, and have a great evening. It was my pleasure. See you soon.